It happened for the first time on a regular weekday morning. I had just finished brushing my teeth. Same routine as always. I leaned down to rinse, then looked up to wipe my face. That's when I saw it. The mirror in front of me showed my face. Nothing strange at first, but then my reflection blinked. I didn't. Not even a twitch. My body was still. I know that for sure. I stared at the glass, waiting for it to happen again. But my reflection returned to normal, perfectly matched. Every little movement synced. No delay, no error. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe I had blinked without noticing. Maybe I was more tired than I thought. But something about the moment stuck with me. That night, I avoided the bathroom mirror without meaning to. I washed my face in the kitchen sink, brushed my teeth while facing the window. It wasn't a fear, just a quiet discomfort. Like the mirror didn't feel like glass anymore, like it was more than a surface. The next morning, I looked again. This time, nothing unusual happened. My reflection moved the same as me. It blinked when I blinked, moved when I moved. Everything felt normal. Still, I found myself checking more often. Not out of curiosity, out of caution. I stood in front of the mirror longer each day, looking closely, noticing things I had never paid attention to. The way the light curved in the reflection, the angle of my shoulders, the way my jaw hung a little lower in the mirror than it felt in my body. I set my phone up on the bathroom shelf and recorded myself standing still in front of the mirror for 10 minutes. I stood there the whole time, silent, not moving. When I watched the footage later, I looked the same as I remembered, until the final minute. My reflection tilted its head slightly to the side. I didn't move. The angle was barely there, subtle, almost imperceptible. But it was real. My actual head stayed still. The reflections didn't to kitter. Then it returned, to match me, before I turned away. I watched that video 5 times. Each time, I felt colder. I didn't delete the file. I left it sitting in my gallery, like evidence of something I couldn't name. Over the next few days, I avoided mirrors completely. I started shaving without looking, brushed my hair with my back turned. I draped a towel over the hallway mirror. I moved the standing mirror in my bedroom into the closet. But one morning, I woke up and the towel had fallen off the hallway mirror. I walked past it quickly, refused to look. Then I heard tapping. 3 slow taps, spaced out evenly. I stopped, turned back toward the mirror. The glass was clean, the frame untouched. But the taps had come from that direction, not the wall, not the floor, from the mirror itself. That night, I dreamed I was standing in front of the bathroom mirror again. Except it wasn't my bathroom. The tiles were off. The light was white and cold, and the reflection didn't match me anymore. It stood still while I reached up to touch my face. Its hand stayed down. Then it blinked and smiled. I woke up drenched in sweat, my heart pounding. My room was cold and the air felt thin. The mirror in the closet was open just a crack. I hadn't opened it in days. I stayed in bed for hours. The next time I passed the hallway mirror, I made the mistake of glancing. Just for a second. My reflection looked tired. My face sagged more in the mirror than in real life. The eyes were darker, the shoulders drawn lower. I leaned closer to inspect it, but everything moved back into sync again. Like it had noticed me watching and adjusted. I started seeing things in reflections that weren't in the room. Not big things, not shapes or movement, just tiny differences. An object slightly out of place. A book that was closed in real life, but open in the mirror. The door to the bedroom just a little wider on one side of the glass. One night, I caught a glimpse of my reflection blinking twice in quick succession. I hadn't blinked at all. I recorded again, this time for longer. 20 minutes of stillness. And at minute 12, the reflection looked directly at the camera. Not at me. At the lens. My body stayed frozen, eyes staring forward. But the reflection's pupils shifted. Then it smiled. A thin, slow smile that didn't touch my face. I stopped watching after that. I've been keeping the mirrors covered. Every single one. Even the dark screen on the television. Even the black surface of my phone when it's off. I'm not sure what I saw, but I know I'm not imagining it. I can feel something watching me from the glass, and it's learning how to look back. The mirrors are still covered, but I don't think that matters anymore. The thing that was once behind the glass has learned how to be somewhere else. I can feel it in the room now. I can feel it when the lights are off, when I close my eyes, when the air seems too still. It hasn't spoken, not in words. But it doesn't need to. It started the night I caught my reflection looking directly at the camera. After that, I stopped recording. I stopped trying to track it. I thought if I ignored it, maybe it would go away. But that only made it quieter, and the silence felt worse than the movement ever did. I started hearing sounds I couldn't explain. Not footsteps, not voices, something softer, like breathing through cloth, or fingernails brushing smooth wood. Always just behind me, always at the edge of the room. I'd turn on every light, but the corners still felt too dark. I checked under furniture, inside closets, behind the shower curtain. Every time, nothing was there, but the feeling never left. Then, I began finding objects moved again. At first, it was small. A coffee mug turned around. A book opened to a page I hadn't read. A drawer left cracked open. Then it became more specific. My toothbrush left neatly in the sink. My shoes placed side by the front door, even though I hadn't worn them. One night, I found the bathroom mirror uncovered. I didn't remember doing it. I didn't even remember touching that towel in days. I didn't look, but I could see, in the corner of my vision, that the reflection was standing perfectly still. Too still. I stepped out and shut the door, then pushed a chair in front of it. The next morning, the chair was in the hallway. I found a note on the table, folded once. No handwriting, just one sentence printed cleanly, in faint ink. Let me show you how to look. I didn't touch it. I didn't throw it away. I just left it there, and hours later, it was gone. That night, I dreamed I was looking into a mirror again. But this time, I couldn't see myself at all. I was in a room made of glass, with walls that stretched in all directions. Everything was reflective, but nothing showed my face. Just long, dark halls of light, bouncing endlessly, every surface echoing with breath. I walked for what felt like hours in the dream, seeing nothing but glass, until I turned a corner and saw my reflection standing there. But it wasn't copying me. It was waiting. When I reached toward it, it didn't move. When I stepped back, it leaned forward. I woke up shaking. The blanket had been pulled off me and folded neatly at the foot of the bed. My phone was on. The camera app was open. The front-facing camera had been running for several minutes. The video showed me sleeping. Then, it showed something moving behind me. Not a person. Not clearly. Just a blur. Like the outline of a body underwater. The room distorted slightly. The shadows leaned in the wrong direction. And then, it ended. No sound. No explanation. I started keeping all reflective surfaces hidden. But every now and then, I catch glimpses where I shouldn't. In the doorknob. In the water in the sink. In the black of my powered-off screen. Each time, my reflection holds just a fraction longer than it should. Like it's pausing. Like it's watching me back. And now, it's starting to affect more than just the mirrors. I've been losing time again. Waking up in places I didn't fall asleep. One night, I woke up standing in the hallway, facing the mirror I'd left hidden. The towel was gone. My hands were pressed to the glass, and I wasn't blinking. I closed my eyes, held my breath, and counted to 10. When I opened them again, the reflection wasn't me anymore. It looked like me, but older, pale, eyes dark, The face was stretched in a way that shouldn't be possible, like it had forgotten how to hold its shape. It smiled. I stepped back, and it didn't follow. That's when I realized it wasn't trapped anymore. It wasn't copying. It was becoming. Since then, I've started forgetting things. Small at first. Names of people I've known for years. My own phone passcode. Then bigger things. I once spent an entire day thinking it was Thursday until I saw a calendar and realized I had missed 2 full days. I find my phone full of photos I don't remember taking. They are always blurry. Always indoors. Always facing mirrors. I haven't looked into one directly in over a week, but I know it's still there. Watching. Growing. Learning to be more like me. The last time I caught a glimpse, I didn't see myself at all. I saw it step forward, and I don't know how long I have left before it finishes what it started.